My own research back in the UK suggested that some of the leading mosques and Islamist groups in Britain got up to half their income from taxpayer sources, mostly the UK government and the European Union. The reason government likes to fund these groups is there's several reasons. It actually, the most important rationale behind this subsidy of Islamism goes back all the way to the Salman Rushdie riots. You remember in the town of Bradford when Salman Rushdie published the Satanic Verses, there were riots. They burnt the book in the streets. They applauded the Iranian fatwa and called for the killing of this author. This was organized by a group in Bradford who ran the local mosques. Now, after those protests, the local government there rewarded these protesters, these rioters, these extremist community leaders with control over their own community. And this was the beginning, really the most important beginning of something called state multiculturalism policy, which is where the government sees its citizens not as individuals, but as blocks, divided by ethnic, religious, or racial identity. So we say to the communities, run your own schools, run your own health centers, run your own institutions, social services, and so on. We'll give you the money to do it. Now, who are the intermediaries who are going to run things? So guess what happens when you tell the community who is your leader? The Islamists step forward.
Is there any political courage in Canada, the UK, or the United States to ban foreign funding of Western mosques, and especially foreign government funding? Much of the funding comes from the Saudi government itself. It's like they're turning mosques into little embassies. Is there any possibility, you think, that would happen, or any appetite?
Well, I'm doubtful Canada could take that step, but I think both Theresa May and Donald Trump have the right mindset to institute something like that. And by the way, any kind of ban or any kind of suppression of funds coming from Middle Eastern or South Asian extremist countries, it has to go both ways. A lot of Western money goes to terrorist groups in the Middle East, North Africa, and the Far East as well. But I think there is the political courage, as you put it, to do it in Britain and America. Of course, it's not just Saudi, or Qatar, of course, has actually taken up the role of funding a lot of Salafist groups in the West. Ever since Saudi Arabia split somewhat with the Muslim Brotherhood a few years ago, we've seen a reduction in the amount of Saudi money that comes over. The Qatari have filled their shoes quite happily.